A little late because I put my phone down somewhere and I couldn't figure out where it was. No surprise. Just putting the hair up out of the way. And we'll get started with a warm-up. So we are doing mostly arms today. We're gonna do one handstand exercise. And then also, I'm gonna have you do some leg exercises while I do a little bit on the pole. So, I don't know what I just did. I just messed this up. Let's refix it 1 second. So it should be a fun little workout. If you have a pole, you can always do the pole exercises, but chances are you probably do not. Oh my God. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it doesn't have to be crazy either. Okay, there we go. So let me get some music going here. And we will do, as usual, one song of movement to get the blood flowing and all that good stuff. Let me close out of that. And also maybe plug this in. There we go. I have straight hair today, which I don't usually have. It takes a long time to dry all this hair and style it, so I don't do it that often. And I am due for a haircut soon. Although it's gotten very long, which I like. I like the girl I go to, but she unfortunately sometimes cuts a little bit too much off. So maybe it's not that bad if I grow it out a little bit longer. Playlists, there we go. Okay, so one song of movement. Let's do this one. Move dog toys out of the way. Who left this here, I wonder? I think we know. I think we know exactly who left that there. And I definitely want the ceiling fan on. Oops, I meant to turn it up, not down. There we go. All right, starting with a little jog. Just getting blood flowing to all the joints here, getting everything nice and warmed up. And then we're gonna move to a jumping jack right here. Hope you're feeling good today. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. Getting pretty hot though, gotta say. All right, let's do a little butt kick. Warm up the hamstrings. Because we are going to be using those today a little bit. So we want to get them nice and warmed up. Good, back to our jog. Oops, actually that was the end of the song. Disregard. Let's take the head up and down. This is 8, 9, one more. Take your head right to left. Look over your shoulder for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's tilt here towards the shoulder. Nice and gentle. That feels good. This is 2. 3, 4, 7, keep the shoulders down, 8, 9, last one, 10, and we're gonna circle ahead all the way around, chin towards the chest, nice and slow and gentle. That's 1, we're gonna go for 5, this is 2, 3, 4, and 5, switch directions, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to roll the shoulders up and back for 9, 8, 7, 6. Hasina says, good job. Thank you for that. Haven't even started, but thank you. I lost track. 10. Forward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do arm circles one at a time. Making sure I don't hit the pole. That's 2, 3, 4, about 10. You know, I'm going to lose track when I start counting. Today I was planning on doing more of a pole workout, but my shoulder's been bothering me a little bit this week. I did do almost my full swim yesterday, and that felt okay, but it has been feeling a little weird, so I didn't want to overdo it. We're going to switch directions now. So we're going to be doing some moves today, pole moves, but more that require leg strength than arms. And then probably next week we'll be back on the pole. I probably could do pole and be okay. But like I said, I always like to be safe rather than sorry. So like I said, we're still going to do a little bit, some conditioning on the pole, but just not using the arms as much. More leg stuff on the pole. And I have some exercises that you can do while I'm doing the pole stuff that will still work relatively the same muscles. We're going up and down with the wrists for 10. I think this is probably 5-ish. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're going to circle. If you're just joining, we are still doing the warm-up, so you can just jump right in. Or you can always watch this later and do it then. This is 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to go up with the fingers and make a fist at the bottom. So we are doing a little handstand today, so we're going to do a little extra wrist stretching. I don't know what that pounding was. Who knows? Last time it was a sonic boom, and it shook the whole house. I thought something fell on the roof, maybe an alien. Unfortunately, it was not an alien. It was just a rocket ship launching somewhere. Okay, then we're going to circle the wrists for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to circle the shoulders back for 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do a side stretch up and over for 10. Now, we are doing some shoulder exercises in this. It's just there's certain things that aggravate my shoulder, primarily pull-ups. That's why stuff on the pole is not great for it right now, but handstands might aggravate it a little bit, so we'll just see how it feels. But I'm also going to be doing a row and some triceps. Those will not irritate my shoulder. It's more the pull-ups and sometimes handstands. We'll see how they feel. There's always modifications I can do if I need to, and I'll give you as well, so you're not killing yourself trying to do a handstand if you can't do one. Let's reach up and then twist and open, warming up the spine. This is 2, 2, this is 3, and 4, last one, All right, we're gonna take it down to the ground for some cat-cows. All right, so rounding the back. My back hurts a little bit today, so I'm gonna go real slow and hold it. And then we're gonna do a little arch, look up, round. For flexibility, just gentle range of motion during warm-up. Dynamic stretching. Just letting everything loosen up and get ready for a nice little workout. You know, I lost track. That was probably 9 or so. We're gonna do some circles, round it out. If this is hard for you, just keep practicing it. It does get a little easier. It's good to practice in front of a mirror. But you're pushing through your hands to make circles with your rib cage. And then we're gonna go the other direction for approximately 5. While we're down here, we're going to do a little wrist warm-up. I like to do this on a very hard surface. This mat is a little thick and squishy. So when I'm warming up my wrists, I want to be on a hard surface. And I'm going to keep my elbows straight and do little circles. We're going to do about 7 or 8 each direction. Just making as big of a circle as you can comfortably, waking up the wrist. I wasn't counting, but we're going to go the other direction now. Keep those elbows straight. As your wrists loosen, you can start taking the circle a little bit bigger. Nice and slow. All right, while we're here, we're going to keep the hands flat. You're going to keep your knuckles on the ground and you're going to lift your wrist. And the goal is to try to get your wrist directly above your knuckles. I have an old injury on my right hand, so it doesn't go up quite as high as the left. But you're working pressing kind of the ball of your hand into the ground and lifting that wrist up. Keep your shoulders stacked above your, when I have an itch, above your wrist. So you can hold this last one. If you have one side that's tighter than the other, I like to use my other hand and kind of give it an extra gentle push. I'm going to hold it for a few seconds. All right, and then slowly come out of that. I like to wiggle my fingers and then start bending them. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to work with the hamstrings a little more because, like I said, we are going to be using those. So we're going to come to a downward dog and just walk your hands in as far as you can comfortably. You can always be up on something if you have really tight hamstrings. And we're just going to start with bending and straightening for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we're going to pedal it out one at a time. Try to bring your chest down as much as you can comfortably. Like I said, if you can't reach down, then you can be up on something, but you want to feel it in the back of your legs here. All right, bend your knees, hands on your thighs, roll it up. Hello, friend. All right, I think we are warmed up enough for what we're going to do today. I'm going to get a sip of water and we'll go through the exercises. I do want to know Hello, Juice Box. Welcome. I do want to know, if you go back and do this workout, if you prefer for me to just start the workout and go through the exercises as the workout's going, or if it's more helpful for me to go over them first before the workout. So that's what we're going to do today, because I'm going to be doing kind of different things than what I'm giving you guys. But let me know what you prefer. Okay, so where's my little list that I wrote? Hold on. Maybe I can remember it off the top of my head. Oh wait, is this it? Yes, it is. Okay. I'm very visual. I like to write my workouts down, otherwise I forget what I'm doing. So first exercise we're both going to do, and just to rewind a second, my format is 5 exercises for 3 rounds total. So it's a 15-minute workout, 50 seconds on, 10 seconds rest in between the exercises, or to just prepare for the next exercise. So number 1 is a diamond jump. So that looks like this. So you're just jumping your feet open, hands reach down towards the ground. Mom, you gonna do the workout with me? No, you're lazy. So if that's too hard for you for whatever reason, you can just step to the side. Okay, if you wanna make it real easy. And then, second exercise is gonna be triceps. I need a couple things for that, including my ball and my dip station. So you can do this on a chair, or if you have like an ottoman that's relatively firm, chair is probably best for your triceps. Let me grab my dip station. Okay, I like to use my dip station for this. So what I do is, because I'm not doing my full weight, I like to squat on the ball and then go like this. So it's like an assisted tricep push-up. Okay, and then the next one for me is going to be a leg hang on the pole. For you, it's going to be a hamstring exercise. So I'll show you what it's going to look like for me. I'm going to be, and if you have a pole, you can do this version, but I'm guessing most people do not. So I'm just working on holding my leg hang. As you can see, it's a lot of hamstring. So for you guys, what you're going to do, you can grab something like a yoga block, would be helpful. Or if you have a small ball, something about this size, what you're gonna do is come to the ground. You can be up on your forearms, and you're gonna curl your hamstrings in. It's harder than it looks. If you don't have anything, you can just do a curl with nothing, but it is definitely more of a challenge to do with something between your feet. Next exercise is going to be the handstand. So I think for today, I'm going to try to hold. I might just hold a regular handstand up against the truss. I might try to face the truss and then hold like a tuck position. We'll see how I'm feeling. Put this over here so you can kind of see everything. There we go. Surya, hello. I don't have time to talk about that in detail, but during my live stream on my main channel, we can chat about that more. Okay, so handstand. If you're brand new to handstands, or you don't even know if you can do them, then you want to start relatively easy. I'm going to give you a very easy handstand kind of conditioning exercise to do. So what you can do Actually, I'll just do it on the mat because I don't want to get a hold of my butt. You can start in a squat, put your hands in front, and then work on pushing your weight and holding it over your arms. You're pushing into your hands to engage your scapulas and then lowering down. So you're going to hold that for a couple seconds. Like we did in the warm-up, you're pressing down the ball of your hand and you're gripping the floor with your fingers. They call it spider fingers, so you're going to start getting the habit of doing that. So you're here and you're going to press forward, hold it for a couple seconds. If you feel real comfortable there, the next step you could do is to try to bring one knee in at a time. But the key here is to really press through your hands and engage your shoulders. You want to try to have your shoulders stacked over your wrist and your gaze should be between your hands right there where you're looking. Okay, so that's handstand. And then, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I wanted to do a row though. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll do 1 round handstands, and then the second 2 rounds are going to be rows. If you don't have weights, you can just stick with the handstand. But for a row, I'm going to start with my heaviest weight, which I don't quite know how much it is, 5, 10, 15, probably about 20 pounds or something. And I'm going to just support myself on the dip station here and pull it up like this. So for this, I like to have support because I do have a back injury and lifting and holding weight irritates it. So I definitely want to be supported. If you feel like you could just do it here with 2 weights, by all means, do your thing. If you don't have weights, then just stick with the handstand. Last one, for me, is going to be on the pole, and it's going to be called a layback. And I'm mostly working on conditioning my thighs to grip the pole. These are pretty long shorts for pole, so I'm going to have to scoot them up quite a bit more to hold on. But the goal here is strengthening my inner thighs to be able to hold that pose a little bit better. I really am up as high as I can go with these shorts, but I'm going to see if I can get them up anymore. If you don't have a pole, what you can do is, if you have a yoga block or something similar, a small ball, something like that, what you're going to do is put it between your knees, either, probably this way is a little bit better actually. And what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze that with your knees and squat back. So you're still working your inner thighs here. So it's still working kind of the same muscles. That's the plan. So 5 exercises and 3 rounds of everything. That's our plan. So let me get a sip of water. I'll get the interval timer. Let me see if we have enough charge. Yeah, we do. So you can see it. It was me. I just made a noise. I'm sorry. Calm down. Yeah, you choke yourself. Chill out there, buddy. Okay, so, you all right? You okay? You gotta relax. Not be so crazy. Let's get the interval timer here so you can see it. And I think that should be good there. Where's my water? All right. So here we go. 50 seconds on, 10-second rest. Let me check the chat one more time. Eric says, come on. I don't know what that means, but okay. All right, starting the workout now. First exercise is a diamond jump. Here we go. So squatting the legs nice and wide, reaching down towards the ground. You don't have to go all the way down, just as far as you can, but really pressing through the feet. Power up for your jump. Try to go the full 50 seconds. 15 seconds. Try to get one or two more. There we go. All right, next up is triceps. So I'm gonna be on my dip station. You can be on your chair or ottoman, whatever. Here we go. Go all the way down, all the way up. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Shoulders stay engaged the whole time. More seconds. Make sure you're not hyperextending your elbows when you come up. 5 more seconds. There we go. Next up is the leg hang. I'm going to start with my right leg. Second round, I'll do my left leg. And you're doing your hamstrings on the ground. But I'm just working on holding, chilling. I'm going to switch to the other side. Well, this is an inside leg hang, just to clarify. Ow! This side of this hurts. And all right, 15 more seconds. I'm gonna go to the other side. So I'm doing outside leg hangs and inside leg hangs. If you don't have a pole, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. That's okay. All right, there's the ding. So next up is handstands. So I'm just gonna start with trying to balance. And I might, actually, let me try to do the hard part first. So then if I get tired, I can do the easier way. All right, I've got 14 seconds left to do a regular handstand. All right, there we go. Got a little balance there. My balance is getting a little better, slowly but surely. All right, last one's the layback. I gotta really get the shorts up for this. Need as much crotch as possible. So I'm doing right leg on top, and you're doing your leg squeezy thing. Oh yeah, that's better. So I'm just working on holding it here. This is pretty good. I'm gonna be able to hold this for a while. Little break. See if I can come down here a little bit. Ooh, doesn't feel too good on the skin, I can tell you that. How much longer we got? 8 seconds. All right, coming out. And back to the top. Let me unwedgie myself for a diamond jump. Second round. Here we go. So a lot of inner thighs today between this and the way back, or the yoga block squish that you're doing. Halfway there. Feet are pointing out. Nice wide squat. Remember, you can always do this if you need to. 6 more seconds. Ugh. There we go. All right, next up is triceps. So you're on your chair, I'm on the dip station. Here we go. I'm doing a little less talking now because I'm getting a little out of breath. But remember all the things I told you. 20 seconds. Keep your shoulders low. Seconds. I'm taking a little break. Getting back into it. 1 or 2 more. There we go. Alrighty. Next up is the leg hang. For you, it's the hamstring exercise on your belly. Wish I had a cloth. Hold on. Leg hang. So I'm just going to hold the outside leg hang for a few seconds and then switch to the inside leg hang, working my hamstring. Whew. This is the hard one. Fifteen more seconds. Let's see. There we go. 5 seconds. All right, coming out. Then we've got the row, or if you don't have weights, you can do your handstand prep. I'm using my big weight for some rows. Try to keep your back straight, abs in tight. Seconds. Little break. 10 more seconds. Try to get a couple more in. There we go. Alrighty. Next up we have the layback. And for you, this is going to be putting something between your legs and doing a squat. I'm giving myself a wedgie again so I can grip. I had the left leg on top. We're going to do right leg on top this time. Hard to keep my feet pointed. Oh, goodness. I'm a little tired after the last round, so I'm going to keep my hands on the pole this time. But as little weight as possible. There's the ding. All right. So, back to the top. Last round. This is going by pretty fast. We've got the diamond jump. Here we go. I am sweating now. Seconds. Let me know if it's helpful for you to see the timer. Halfway. Almost there. Keep going. 10 more seconds. There we go. All right. Triceps. You're on your chair. I'm on the dip station. All the way up, all the way down, hook cheat. Remember, this is the last round, so give it your all. Halfway there. Seconds. Hang in there. One more second. Yes. All right. Next up is my leg hang. For you, it's your hamstring exercise on your belly. Here we go. I guess I'll do right side. So catch my breath a little bit. I'm getting sweaty, which means I'm getting slippery. I'm gonna go to the inside leg hang. Working on conditioning the muscles and my skin for this. That's half the battle. Pole dancing. 3 seconds. There we go. Okay. Next up is the row. Or you can do your handstand. I'm doing the row. Doing my second side. Go forward a little bit so you can see. Come on now. There. 20 more seconds. Squeeze your abs in tight, keep your back straight. Almost there. Okay, there's the game. I got a couple left. One more left to be exact. Lay back for me, or you're using your yoga block between your knees and pulsing. Last exercise, unless I missed something. I don't think I did. Oh yeah, I gotta get my shorts up my butt again. Need more skin to grip. Sweat dripping into my eye. Just working on holding it here, conditioning my skin, and strengthening my inner thighs for a layback, which is improving because I was able to hold it with no hands pretty solidly for at least a few seconds, which is fantastic. All right, that should be the end. Let's see. Yep.
Activity completed.
Perfect. All right. Let's cool down a little bit. Turn down the music. Let me check the chat while I wipe my sweat. Grab some water. Oh. Eric says, come on. Or maybe I already read that one. Hello, Santana. Okay, I might want to turn, what? Go away. I didn't want to turn off the music completely. What happened? Oh, I guess I just turned it down all the way. All right, wiping off the sweat a little bit. That was a good workout. Shoulder feels good. Probably good that I didn't do too many handstands, honestly. All right, stretch. So we're gonna start with a side / lat stretch after the rows. So if you don't have a pole, you can grab one elbow behind your head, squeeze your abs in, press the elbow down and lean to the side. I'm on the pole, doing this hold for about 5 deep breaths. And I have an audience, a furry audience. All right, and then when you're ready, switch. Oh, 5 deep breaths. And then you can do this on the ground in like a child's pose, but I like to do it on the pole. And I'm going to do little circles with my chest. And then we're going to go the other way. What's up, Pop? What's up, puppy? Good. Stretch out those lats. That feels so good. All right, now if you're on the ground, you're going to reach one hand forward, booties up in the air. I'm still on the pole for a little shoulder flexion stretch. Side, stretch the right arm forward or whatever arm you didn't stretch. Lean into that shoulder. That should feel pretty good. Okay, now we're going to do, I'm going to use the pole for the next one, but your version is similar to the first stretch that we did where you're going to be here. But the difference is you're going to bend that arm as much as you can because we're really working on stretching the tricep. So we're not really pushing back on the tricep. It's more about bending and holding that way. So we're stretching the tricep. I like to use the pole to help me on this one. You're just going to hold it for about 5 deep breaths. Make sure your abs are in tight. You're not arching your back. And you could also do this on the ground, I guess, but I feel like it's a little bit easier standing. And then the other side. Like I said, you're really focusing on bending the arm. All right, there we go. All right. Now, what else did we work? We did a lot of inner thigh stuff, but before we go down to the ground, we're going to do a couple more shoulder stretches. So we're going to start with bringing your arm across your chest and then pulling in with the wrist. Make sure that shoulder's as low as you can get it. I like to use my pole. You can use the wall to get an extra stretch with this. When I do that, I feel this more in the back of my shoulder. It's just a more intense stretch. We're going to hold this one a little bit longer because after those rows, it's good to get a real good stretch here. All right, and then we're going to switch sides. So now we bring the right arm or whatever arm you didn't do, and then use the wall. I'm using the pole to get a little extra stretch. more deep breath. And then while we're here, you're gonna bring your hands, palms together, and then push your palms together. I like to use the pull for this one again. You're gonna tuck your chin in and around your back. And when you press through your palms, that's gonna stretch between your shoulder blades. 3 more deep breaths, and then I'm gonna come check the chat. Good, slowly come out, and then you can roll your neck side to side, stretch it out while I check the chat. Mike is here for the toes. Yes, they are red. Roll the neck out, side to side. Were you the one asking about my toes in the other live stream? Or was that somebody else? All right, we're gonna do a little more neck stretching here, so leave your chin down to your chest. Interlace your fingers behind your head and then gently pull down. Deep breaths to help the muscles relax. Okay, we're gonna roll your neck, head over to one side, grab the opposite side of your head. I like to stretch down with those fingertips and just real gentle. Don't be yanking on your neck. Be gentle with your neck. It's kind of important. And the muscles get easily pulled and they hurt. Breathe. And then you're gonna rotate your nose towards your armpit and gently pull down again. And then we're gonna roll over to the other side. Same thing, grab the opposite side of your head, reach those fingertips down to the ground, and then gently pull down. Mo just fell asleep. Why is there doggy food over on the floor over here? You're acting like you're starving and I never give you food, but then there's food on the floor over here. You're a slob. Okay, and then rotate your nose towards your armpit, gently pull down again. You need to clean up your mess, sir. All right, so let's see. We still got some hamstring stretch to do and inner thighs. We're gonna do a little wrist while we're standing here. So we're gonna pull back on the fingers gently. I think this is much better to do with a straight elbow because a lot of these muscles insert at your elbow. So if you're doing it with a bent elbow, you're not really gonna stretch them as effectively. Something to think about. And then we switch sides, gently pull back on the fingers. I'm not too worried about stretching. This is flexion. I'm not too worried about stretching extension because we're doing a lot of extension when we do handstands. So I'm more concerned, although I did do the pull and that does work your flexors, I'm more worried about the extensors today. And the other thing you can always do is you can take your fingers and massage those muscles there. Sometimes I'll feel a little crunchy spot, rub it out. You can also take like a little ball and massage it out. That's really good for your forearm muscles, especially if you do a lot of like typing or you ride a motorcycle, anything where you're using your wrists. If you're an ultrasound technician, all that kind of stuff, it's good to kind of take care of your forearm muscles and massage them out. I digress. Let's go back to the pole. You can be on the ground or a wall. You can go to the wall for a pec stretch. You can be on the ground on your stomach and have one arm out to the side like this and roll over. I'm on the pole and I'm gonna lean into my elbow, feeling the stretch here. And I'm even gonna take my head away to add to the stretch. But you wanna feel all in your chest here. So I like to start with a bent arm and then sometimes I'll get a straight arm. You just wanna make sure that you're, again, not hyperextending your elbow if you're doing this version, or you can hold on to something, but make sure your elbow is slightly bent so you don't hyperextend. And then the other side, same thing. I'm not doing my more intense pec stretch today because my shoulder has been, excuse me, kind of bothering me. So I don't want to piss it off. We're going easy. Easy today. And then we're gonna straighten it out. You can have your shoulder in line, or I'm sorry, your wrist in line with your shoulder. You can also even take this up a little bit. That's still gonna stretch your pec, but kind of just a different direction and way. All right, that was our pecs. Feeling pretty good. Now we're gonna stretch out our inner thighs. I'm just gonna come to the pole for a little balance. You don't need to hold on to anything. I just like to. So we're just gonna come, have one leg extended out to the side. I like to point and flex. Get a little foot stretch going too. Why not? That feels pretty good. So this is after the laybacks that I was doing and the diamond jump that I'll use our inner thighs quite a bit, so we want to make sure we stretch it out. And even though you didn't do the layback, you did the version where you were squeezing something between your legs, still working your inner thighs. So you still worked it, and therefore need to stretch it. Should be feeling it right here. I don't know if you can see how red I am. My thighs are very red from the layback, gripping the pole. It was much needed, and I'm glad to see improvement. That's how pole dancing is. I've mentioned this before, but you'll try something, it's very painful, you'll feel like you're never going to be able to do it, and it feels impossible. But if you have the commitment to stick with it, you practice it every week, just a little bit, you don't have to go crazy. After a few weeks, you will notice that things start getting easier and that you're actually able to do things. And that's why it's so exciting, in particular pole dancing, because it gives you a real sense of accomplishment when you are able to do something that you never thought you'd be able to do. Okay, good confidence booster too. Okay, so we're gonna do a hamstring stretch. You can just be here on the ground with one leg forward, one leg back. If you have something to hold on to if you need to, otherwise your hands can be on the ground and you can bend and straighten the front leg. You can round and then straighten your back. That's another good way to do it. You could also keep your hands on the floor and just flex the front foot. You could hold it like that. Those are all options. I'm gonna go on the pole. So you're doing that version. I like to be a little more extreme. Many different ways to stretch the hamstrings, really. This is just my favorite. Nice deep breaths. Remember, that helps your muscles relax. I'm gonna add a little straddle stretch here. You can keep it the hamstring stretch. All right, go ahead and switch. I like to kind of do this in between to loosen my hamstrings up. Did we reach the end of the playlist? Yes, we're going back to the beginning. Straddle stretch on the other side so I don't give you all crash. So you're on your second side for the hamstring stretch. You'll notice I do a lot of stretching. I think it's very important. And I see a lot of workouts where people are just stretching random things, but as you know by now, I like to really target the stretches for the muscles that we worked during the workout, because that makes more sense, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Oh, there's the straddle. Okay. And then we're just going to come here and do what I call the old lady stretch. But it feels so good, really. This loosens up the hips. Especially after an intense stretch, or like working on splits. I like to do this. Okay. Just a quick and short little back stretch, because we don't want to forget about that. We're going to stretch up, flat back down. Round all the way forward, put your hands on your thighs, stretch up to a flat back, and then exhale and round. Grab your elbows and just give it a little rock. Let it loosen up and relax, release, and then we'll roll it up one vertebrae at a time. Try to do it without hands, but you can have your hands on your thighs if you need to. It's also a good back strengthener to do this with a weight. I do that at the gym sometimes. I'll grab a weight and go down and up. Okay, let's see if you guys have anything to say for yourselves. Oh, hello to Mike. And Rules the Jungle's in the house. Long time no see. Okay, that completes my workout for the day. So live streaming on this channel every Wednesday and Friday now, 11 a.m. So I'm sure I will see you again. Leave a comment if you do the workout. Let me know how it goes. And if you like the explanation at the beginning or during the first round of exercise. Have a wonderful